What's up, everybody? How we doing today on this, 19th episode? Yes, 19th episode. Hope you're all doing swell. It has been, last week? What did we talk about last week? A bunch of depressing stuff, that's what. So today, I'll try to keep it a little lighter. Keep things going a little bit smoother, happier tones, happier vibes, as the kids say these days. Or something like that. I don't know what they say, actually. No idea. I don't even know. Positive vibes only. That's what I'm trying to say. Or at least try to keep it that way for this episode. And if you're new here, this is a podcast where I talk about me and technology that I find interesting and Twitch-related stuff and entertainment. It's a mixing pot of shit, basically. No one knows what this thing is. I don't even know what it is. I just like hearing my voice. So that's why this thing exists. Kind of like how most of us exist. Parents liked each other. So, now you exist. Then that's that. And that's the story of you. Wow. Technology. I'll start off with that subject. It has, holy shit, AMD. Holy shit. The fanboys. The fanboys are livid because their shit don't work like they thought it would work. Like AMD. They didn't say much or promise much at all in terms of compatibility with motherboards and future generations of their Ryzen CPUs. And it turns out that after the B450 series, I believe, will no longer support or be able to accept the newer chips. And oh my god. Did the fanboys be all hissy-pissy about it? They are livid. I just go on Reddit and people are on there just demanding that AMD do this and how AMD betrayed them and fuck AMD and all this shit. AMD don't owe you shit, boy. They don't owe you shit. They don't care about you. You're nothing. You are insignificant. You know what they do care about? They care about the big, like HP, Dell, Lenovo. They care about those guys because those guys mass produce computers. They don't care about the enthusiast. They don't. Most people, most businesses are not going to do that. They don't care. We are nothing to them. And people don't know that. People do not know that. We are a small fragment of what makes up Intel and AMD's profits. Very small. I mean, AMD is all about them data centers right now with their epic server chips. They're all about the servers. They're all about the data centers. That's their money maker. That's what they want to go after. They don't, a little motherboard issue, a little bad PR. Who cares? They don't care. I don't know why so many people actually okay, maybe I do know why. I like new and shiny stuff as much as the next tech guy. I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, you don't need it. I don't need it. No one needs it right now. I mean, if you just built a computer a year ago, thinking that you need to upgrade in 2 why? What performance gains are you going to actually get? Not a whole lot. Let's be honest. It's never as significant as you might think it is. You always hear these early rumors, 50% performance gains and shit like this, and it's never the case. It never really is that case. It's getting to the point where these upgrades have become, I don't know, more tedious and annoying because of the payoff of it, basically. You spend all this money to upgrade your stuff. You gotta spend a lot of time building the computer, because let's face it, building a computer is pretty easy. It's putting all the programs back on it. It's updating it. It's all this. It's the fine tuning of it. That's the long part. But it's the building part is the easiest part, but it does take some time. And you do that every couple of years? Why? For a little bit of gain. And you don't need it. I don't need it. I want the new chip. At the same time, I'm rocking a 3900X. I don't need it. Not now. And not even that, but DDR5 memory, it's coming up. It's coming out here in like a year or two at most. And then you'll be upgrading again. Just wait a goddamn minute. You don't need the next Ryzen. You just simply do not need it right now. There's no point What are you going to upgrade from upgrade 6-core to what? 8-core? 12-core? Maybe 12-core. But even then, just buy the 3900X. It'll be cheaper than maybe. Or buy the 3950X. That's what I would probably upgrade to. But even still, when DDR5 RAM comes out and when AMD comes out with a chip to support it, you think I'm going to buy the first generation? Fuck that. I'm going to wait till the last generation. Why? Because that's going to be the best generation. It always is. Look at the Ryzen. You had the 1000 series, 2000 series, and 3000 series. You think the 2000 series is better than 3000 series? Not by much, but it's better. And I believe that's what people are pissed by, is that they don't get to have the best, and without having to upgrade their motherboard that's no longer compatible. Even though AMD never specifically said that these boards would be supported. Now, again, credit to the consumer here. AMD did dick around with the motherboard issue and not come out with motherboards at the same time as the chips, and all of a sudden people were sitting on their hands, not wanting to spend, an absurd amount on a motherboard, but wasn't sure if these boards that they were going to get, the 400 series, would even support the future Ryzen chips. AMD gave no specific words. Some motherboard manufacturers did say that future chips would be supported on these boards, but turns out fake news. Fake news. They're not supported, and people are livid. And almost to an absurd amount. I don't agree with AMD on it. I don't. But at the same time, the absurd amount of hate they are getting, it seems a bit much. Now, I'm not saying that, they changed it, move on. But no. They deserve to be called out in their shitty antics. But it's almost too much. Like, way too much hate. And it was bound to happen. People, we have a tendency here. We have a tendency to love a brand, love a company. We look at AMD. We saw them taking on Intel, dethroning Intel, nonetheless, taking over the market in a wave of awe. It was awesome. It was the reckoning. It was whatever. It was a biblical event. It was awesome. And we were like, hey, AMD is a lot like us. They're the underdog. I'm the underdog. We're one and the same. No, AMD, probably $1 billion corporation. Actually, I don't know. I'm going to say $1 billion because they're in data centers. They're everywhere. They're very popular in the tech world. So I'm assuming they're $1 billion company. But they're not one of us. They're not a people. They're not a person. It's a fucking mass company that is out to make a profit, and people are just livid that they would do that. They would go behind their back to make a profit. Yeah. What do you expect? We made them feel like we were friends. That's what we did. That was the mistake the consumer made, was saying that AMD is not like Intel. AMD is like us. Just the regular average Joe who wants to make really cool computers for personal usage, and that's it. Sick gaming rigs, whatever. And there are obviously some people who did go AMD simply because 16 cores in a enthusiast build computer is amazing for work productivity, and went with them, and rightfully so. It was a outstanding deal over Intel, outstanding deal. But unfortunately, some of us got a little too close, a little too chummy with AMD, thinking they would be on our side forever. And no, being the underdog all the time is not AMD's probably not in their best business plan, because they as much as people hate on Intel's still the leader here, like profit wise. They are still out there making big bank, because they're in the data centers. They're also in a lot of computers, not necessarily enthusiast built computers, but in a lot of computers. Go to Walmart, you're thinking to see a lot of AMD base laptops there. No, you're going to see Intel, and that's the point I'm trying to make. AMD wants to be that. AMD doesn't give a shit. If AMD is on the top and they can keep swatting at Intel from getting back to the top, they'll keep doing shitty things. Intel was going to take a long time to catch up to what AMD has done. It's going to take them years. And so essentially we're still down to just the one company here now. There's not really a competing company. Intel can't just, come back next year with an answer to everything that AMD has done. They can't. And you know what? Maybe they don't need to. Maybe they are so big that, yeah, we'll let AMD have a big portion of the market now, but we still hold everything else. And that is, I would assume, is what's going to happen here. AMD is going to keep trying to swat down Intel, but Intel's just too big at this point to even try to dethrone and take the position of. And, it kind of sucks for us, because while AMD continues to grow, more of these things are going to happen. Like, you think how many generations you got on that board? 1 or 2, maybe, backwards now? And that's going to be the end of it? It's not. It's really, 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 really not. You best guarantee that it'll get worse. It'll get a lot worse. AMD will be the next Intel without a doubt. Without a doubt. Obviously, they're trying to break into the graphics card market, but it's not. Let's be honest here, boys. It's not working out too well. Not working out too well at all. Like, look at, you just think about it. I don't know. I have a couple of computer building friends, and they all rock Intel. Do you think they give a fuck about AMD's graphics? Not Intel. NVIDIA graphics. AMD graphics, I mean, they're fine. They're good. They're not like hogwash terrible, but at the same time, for just a little bit more, you get obviously a little bit more power, and you also get NVIDIA brand. There's something with NVIDIA right now. AMD hasn't done what AMD did to Intel yet. If AMD can come out with a graphics card that just trumps over NVIDIA, obviously I'll go with AMD, obviously. But right now, NVIDIA is just the superior one for some reason. Like, they make good graphics cards on paper, and what I've seen from benchmarks, AMD has made properly good graphics cards. But for some reason, NVIDIA just keeps going. I believe, I'm not saying it is because of this, but pretty sure it's because of the RTX. Even though right now it's still kind of like, well, that was like not a thing at all. Lighting was whatever effect. It looked fine, but the performance hit you took was grand. Way too much for what it was. But even so, AMD had nothing up its sleeve, no gimmick, nothing to sell their graphics cards on. It was still another graphics card to buy, to just use, and that's all it ever has kind of been since RTX. There hasn't been like, oh, here's a RTX equivalent card for much cheaper. Oh, okay, that's great. Nothing like that at all. Even though AMD has sort of kind of have an answer for NVIDIA's RTXness. It didn't work out too well. I saw the demo. It didn't look that great. No, thank you. And to be fair, I don't use the fucking RTX. I don't use that light shit. I don't care. Even though it looks great, it looks beautiful. The performance hit, man. The performance hit is too much for my heart. It is way too much. Like, look at fucking Minecraft with RTX. It looks great. But oh my god, you need a really, I wouldn't say like, you need above average computer to run 60 frames a second. I think it was at 2K. You need some beef there. Basically, you need like a 2070 Super or more to get everything out of it, and then not even that, but you need a proper processor, because if you get too weak of a processor, you'll bottleneck it, and it just won't be good anyways. So yeah, it is. Man, what was I going on about? Oh yeah, NVIDIA. It has the thing that AMD doesn't have yet. Not yet. Eventually, maybe it will be, but at the same time, I don't think AMD really cares that much about. Okay. NVIDIA makes more than just regular desktop gaming graphics cards that we all love and enjoy right now. They do so much more. They're in artificial intelligence right now. They are bombing it in artificial intelligence. They are doing a smack job. We do see some of that in the gaming community with the, DLSNN or something like that, whatever it's called. There is that, and that is obviously artificial intelligence. And from the results of it, it does look like it's working as intended, sort of. It does take time because I guess, the little bot's got to learn stuff, but it's working. It's getting there. And that's what NVIDIA is really working on. Not even that, but like NVIDIA is working on artificial intelligence generated faces, AI faces people that just do not exist now existing in photorealistic ways, built out of AI bots. Like that's AMD. That's not AMD's. That's NVIDIA's new bread and butter. That's what they're going after, because artificial intelligence bots in graphic settings are going to just take over everything. This is going to take over everything. And they are pumping a lot of money into it, obviously. They're really going at it. And not even that, but like, again, as much as we like our gaming graphics cards, our desktop graphics cards, they also do a lot more in terms of enterprise cards. A lot more. I'm not sure. AMD, yeah, they have the Radeon. I know it's on a lot of Macs, but my work computer, no. We have AMD in ours. Not AMD. We have NVIDIA. Wow. All these names, man. All these names is getting me all confused and shit, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But we are rocking NVIDIA. It's a Quadro. It's like a P something so small, very, very small. That's the smallest amount you can get. But we're rocking it. It has more VRAM in it than my personal gaming graphics card. It's got more VRAM, so it's a little bit better in terms of graphics. Not necessarily the graphics setting in games, but generating graphics and dealing with that sort of workload. It's a little bit better than mine, but I have more core processing power because it's a 2080. But there's trade-offs here, trade-offs there. It doesn't matter. What my point is that AMD is not in the graphic sense in enterprise levels yet. Maybe they don't really care. Maybe they just do it just to have a small share of the market, just to make a little extra money because they can do it. And it's okay. That's okay. A lot of people still rock AMD graphics cards, and there's nothing wrong with them at all. Nothing wrong with them. I know I believe they had some major driver issues not too long ago. Something weird, something fucky was going on there. I don't know if it was completely the card or if it was like a combination of a lot of things, but something rendered that card kind of useless and not working properly. So obviously people are pissed about that one. But still, AMD, they make good graphics cards. They make them well. People like them. People use them. But they just don't have what I would say, they don't have that thing that makes you want to really buy it. A lot of people, no one ever says, oh, buy AMD graphics card because of this, this, and this, and this. It's mainly because buy an AMD graphics card because budget. And that's kind of it. That's all I really hear. I hear it in terms of performance. It kind of holds par with the equivalent to whatever NVIDIA graphics card they're comparing it to. But at the same time, they still fall a little bit behind. And NVIDIA just stomps all over them. In every game, really. In almost every game I really see them that I would play, stomps them down in. Not every game. I can't remember what game it was, but there was one game where AMD did do better than NVIDIA and the equivalent graphic card. And it's just like, oh, well, good for AMD here. Finally winning one over in a game. And it was a game that, again, I don't remember the game, so obviously it wasn't a game worth playing or remembering about. But AMD shitting on its consumers for some reason. I didn't find it upsetting because I didn't have the board. I'm not looking to upgrade for 4 years probably until DDR5 comes out, and even then I probably won't upgrade until it's on the last generation of that chip, because when the new chip comes, so when the new generation comes out for DDR5, it's gonna be rocky. That first iteration of the chip, the second chip probably a little bit better, the third chip will be getter, and then the fourth chip will be here. And it'll be balls to the wall. It'll be amazing. And I feel like the last generation of the chip lasts longer than the first generation in terms of, I hate to say future-proofing, but future-proofing it. Because, let's look at the Ryzen series right now. The 1000 series that came out, way behind the 3000 series. But the 3000 series is going to be more in par in line with the DDR5 first generation series. It's going to be more in line with that. It's going to be in terms of performance. I don't see it being, significantly. I don't see the gains being that much. Now there will be gains, obviously, as technology is supposed to work. There is going to be gains, but how much? What numerical value will those gains be? Is it going to be 75%, 50%, 15%, 20%? And then you have to be asking yourself, is rebuilding my entire system, basically rebuilding it for memory, motherboard, and CPU, maybe even cooler, depending if they change the design of the chip or not, is that worth it? Is that worth it for 15% more gain in something? That it probably won't be gaming, honestly, because gaming is such a small market. It really is. Like it's big, but in terms of everything else that encompasses it, gaming is a very small market. And AMD, they're smart enough to know that's not what they want to go after. They want to go after the film studios. They want to go after the data centers. They're like, hey, look at this chip. Look at what we've done. Buy from us. That is what they're going to do. Obviously, we get the trickle down effect. We get the baby stuff. We get the, decent stuff. But still, we are not their main priority. I don't know why people were. I know why they were upset, but I don't know why they were so upset to the degree of anger to just saying fuck AMD. Like, they don't care. They don't care about you. Who are you, person on Reddit? Jelly Butthole 001. Who are you? No one cares about you. You're nothing to them. You're not even on their thought. They don't think about you at all. And here you are writing out a very long post about how bad AMD has treated you. They don't care. They don't care. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to Intel? You're gonna buy from Intel? Okay, buddy. You do that. Intel will be glad to have you. And that's it. That's it. Intel will be glad to have you. AMD will be glad to get rid of you. And you'll still be a salty motherfucker pissed about chips and not being able to upgrade after every, iteration. You don't need to upgrade. No one needs to upgrade now. If you're rocking a 2000 series, you don't need to upgrade the 4000 series yet. Wait. Just wait till DDR5. That's all you have to do. You'll be so much more happier in the long run. I know it'll be more expensive, but at the same time, you'll be much happier because it's DDR5. That's another thing that you're going to want after you upgrade to 4000 series. After you upgrade to 4000 series, you're going to be pissed because you find out that, hey, I would like to rock DDR5 and now I have to buy a new board and a new chip. Fuck you. And new memory, obviously. No, just wait a goddamn minute. Stop. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You can breathe. Just breathe. We can wait. Just wait for DDR5 because the performance in that bad boy is going to be way more significant than the 4000 series Ryzen. Way more, way better. New memory. It's going to rock your dick off. And then you have to buy, a 3000 series graphics card because fuck it, why not? So a whole new system when DDR5 comes out. Let's go, boys. All right, hard switching subjects here from shitty, tech company shenanigans to I watched Harry Potter series with my fiance over the course of several weeks because we don't actually live together. Over the course of several weeks, we watched one movie a weekend. So it took a couple weeks to finish it all, but we finished it all. And she's much bigger Harry Potter fan than myself. I like it. It's all right. It's fine. It's whatever. But she's all about it. She's all about it. We went to the Wizarding World in Florida, Orlando, Florida, one summer. She had a ball with it. I had fun with it. Again, she's a much bigger fan than me. And I enjoy it. That's about it. That's it. But I had some thoughts on the series. So the third one still remains to be my favorite one. And that is because of the way it's shot, like the camera movements, the long takes. There's just something about it that just emphasized the world that was built in the first two. Now, the first two, I like the look and feel of them a lot better than any of the other ones that came out after the third one. After the third one, something changed. Something drastically changed. They went from like these magical feeling movies to, I don't know, basic budget, big budget Hollywood films. I don't know how else to explain it. There was just a nice tone in the first and second one that made it feel like a different world. It made it feel like I was watching a movie, but what I was seeing on screen was not it. There was a certain depth to the first two movies that didn't get addressed in the movies at all, but it just felt like they were a lot bigger. And then the last installments just felt like, basic set pieces, very Hollywood, I mean, they were good, they were fine movies, but, the first two they actually felt magical. I'll say it, I'll be stupid. They felt magical. They felt like they had something going from them. Even another example here, Star Wars. I'll bring it up. I'll bring Star Wars and Harry Potter together. We will go at it at which is the better series. Obviously, either way, Rise of the Jedi or whatever that one was. Meh. Okay, so let's just look at the first three installments, the first three films: New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi. You watch those movies, there's something about them. They feel better to watch. They feel better. I don't know. They feel like there's an actual world there. There's some depth to it. There's layers to it. It just feels like you're watching something that could be. I know that sounds dumb, sounds stupid, but stick with me here. And then you watch Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens. Yes, I remembered those movies backwards. So just watch The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. I do not feel the same. I do not feel like those movies captured what New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi captured. Now, you can make a case. Now, as much hate as the prequels get, the prequels did the same thing what the original trilogy did. They captured something. Now, as bad as the movies were, they captured something. There was a world that was built within the worlds, like even though we focused on, Naboo, Tatooine, Coruscant, Mustafar, there was still, it felt big. It felt big. I don't know how else to explain it. It just felt like there was so much more going on in this, in the prequel series than what we got in the sequel series. So much more going on there. And we didn't get any of that really in the sequel series. Now we did get some different planets. I know we got that Casino planet in Last Jedi, and then we got that temple, Maz's temple in what was that? Force Awakens, and then what was in Rise of Skywalker? We got some Endor, one moon, Force moon. We got some Endor moon. Know that for sure. But other than that, we didn't really get a whole. I guess we got Darth Sidious's planet, but again, you don't remember him. I don't even remember him. I've only seen the movie once, but I don't remember the names. Don't remember the names from the sequel series, and that's kind of like what I'm trying to get at here. Is that they just felt like there was set pieces and things had to happen this way. There was no real love or passion into it. I guess there was nothing that really felt like J.J. Abrams wanted to be there right then and now, writing it, helping write it at least, or whoever helped write. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It just didn't feel. Now, as much criticism as Last Jedi felt, there was actually something that felt. There was actually a little bit of passion into that one. You could actually feel like Rian Johnson really put a lot of work and effort into it. Now, I'm not here to say that it's good or bad, but you can recognize that he at least tried to do something here that was, dare I say, different and what is that? Subvervent, whatever the fuck they called. I can't fucking say it. Subvert expectations. That's what he tried to do. It may or may not have worked out so well. I'm not here to argue about it, but he at least tried to do something and build the world that was sort of built before in The Force Awakens. Even though The Force Awakens didn't really build a whole lot, it just kind of used a lot of what has already happened, just with new CGI and better graphics and different droids and whatnotables. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that after the first two Harry Potter movies, it just felt so kind of generic after that. I don't know why. I can look at Star Wars and I can see like there was a loss of passion and more of like we can make more money on this type of thing. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Harry Potter, maybe Warner Brothers realized they found a really good cash cow and they can go ham if they do it properly. And they did do it properly. I'll tell them that with the next installments of the Harry Potter movies from 3 on. They're like, hey, we can seriously make money now. Let's do it. And they became very just generic movies, looking movies, feeling movies that had magical aspects to it, but it just didn't feel magical. I don't like. Maybe it's because like they just got like the characters got old, so obviously they knew more about magic, so it became easier for them and less important to show them learning. But at the same time, like, why go to Hogwarts? Like, why? I mean, we had it just felt like it was missing something very, very much needed in the last films of the Harry Potter series. It just didn't feel magical. As lame as that sounds, it just didn't feel as it should have been. I like the first 2. They just had something going for them. I don't know if it was just the way it was shot. I don't know if it was the way just the color grade, the music was kind of the same. Obviously, John Williams did I believe he did the first one. I don't know about the second one, but the first one for sure he did. But everything else after the second one, I'm not saying it was bad. It just didn't capture what the first 2 had done. And now, is that bad? I don't think so. I think it's fine, obviously. I mean, they were good movies, as I said. Good effects here and there, although some of the effects have not aged well at all. That whole troll scene in the first movie, oh man, that did not age at all. It looks very, very poopy. Looks very poopy. But yeah, like the Harry Potter series, it was good. It's fine. I started reading the books because why not? What else am I going to do in this quarantine hell? What else am I going to do in it? It's whatever. It's fine. And like, I need a new series or something to like, because at least Harry Potter ended well. They got that going for them. I guess it's hard to say if Star Wars ended well or bad, because I mean, yeah, the main saga ended kind of poopy, but they're still going strong with The Mandalorian. Attack of the Clones, I heard, was pretty lit. So they got that. They got the amusement park. Obviously, they'll come out with new movies eventually. Don't know when, but eventually they'll come out with new movies when they can trust each other to come out with actually decent films. And, you know, there you go. But at the same time, the saga ended so goddamn awful. I'm pissed about it. And then, you know, that was supposed to be my thing. I was supposed to like that. I was supposed to like how that ended. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe Game of Thrones. I mean, no. Game of Thrones did not end the way it should have fucking ended. So many things did not end the way they should have ended. I've been disappointed too many times in the things I love. But Harry Potter at least ended appropriately. At least, you know, like movie-wise, they ended appropriately. I didn't read the books, all the books. I read the 4th one. After that, I kind of stopped. But, you know, I like the movies. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of things different. I know for a fact they changed a lot in the 4th one and 3rd one even. But after that, I can't speak on it. But, you know, a lot of the book people, hardcore book people, like the movies enough. So maybe they got enough of it right. I know my fiance was talking about how some things were changed and how she wishes they had went more this way or that way or went more in depth with this. So, you know, there's always going to be that aspect when you turn a book into a movie, because a book can hold so much more, can build out the world so much more. But what? No, leave me alone. Yeah. What else? Oh, I remember. Okay, so for the longest time, my mixer, my beautiful mixer here, my Yamaha mixer, I love it to death, but I've had this problem, and that is Discord audio, mic audio, that is. So there's a feature on it. There's a voice effects feature. I can change my voice. I can make it echo. I can make a reverb. I can change the pitch. It's whatever. But there the volume, I guess, the input volume for the effects is also the same thing that I need to use for Discord. Because believe it or not, like this thing, as good as it is, it's kind of a pain in the ass at the same time. You just gotta get used to it. But anyways, I've been using my Focusrite to link to actually output. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. It's not working out. I cannot explain this effectively without showing it. I just realized. So we're not going to talk about that one. I don't know. I thought I had something to talk about there. But basically, I fixed it, and I was happy about it, and I was proud of myself because it works really well now. I can have my vocal effects be at full volume without having to sacrifice it for being in Discord audio, which is really nice. Basically, all I needed was to use my old Focusrite audio interface. I kept it for a reason. I didn't know why, but I kept it. I'm really glad I did because right now it has been saving my ass. However, using it, I learned quickly that it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because for some reason, like the signal out to it to go into Discord was like really hot, super sensitive. I barely touched the knob and turn it up and it fucking blows my ears off. Like, God damn, it's so sensitive. I didn't understand why that was. It should not have been that sensitive. So what I ended up having to get was a 50 decibel pad. And yeah, you heard me, 50. Not 24, not 12, not 10, not 8. A massive amount of fucking padding here had to be given to get the audio to work the way it's supposed to work. And it feels good, man. It feels good. I felt happy with myself. I was like, I can solve this problem. I can do it. For a while there, I was rocking just a mic audio cord to the back of the PC, and that was even worse. Even more sensitive than what the Focusrite is. It was insane. But not even that, but the sound quality is a lot better. I don't know if it's because I was using a mic cable to adapter, 1/8 inch adapter. Don't know if that was it or not, but it sounds a lot better now. And I was happy with myself because I was like, I can figure this out. I can do this. I just need to know where the problem is. For a while there, I honestly thought it was just because of the wire. I honestly thought it was a Windows thing happening here with the mic sensitivity input because that was a serious problem. For whatever reason, Windows defaults there's like this microphone boost to 20 decibels plus. Doesn't even that doesn't need that. No, bad Microsoft. Turn that shit off. That was bad. And even when I turned that off, I had to lower the sensitivity down to about like 70 or something in Windows. Even then, the knobs on my mixer, I barely turn it up and it just fucking blows my ears off. I don't know what it was. I don't know why it's so unbelievably sensitive, but I finally got to work the way I've been wanting to get this to work, and it's beautiful. I don't like, and the funny part is that with the board, the Focusrite, the cable, and the pad, it would probably have been just cheaper to go with the Go XLR. Nice, maybe not cheaper, but just about as expensive. That's the only thing that kept me from going with the Go XLR, because I was like, oh, it's just a mixer. I'll just buy this Yamaha. It's a little bit cheaper. It's not as fancy looking. I don't get the fancy knobs or the fancy interface on the computer, but it works the same way, and that's all I really need. I was wrong, sort of. But right now, it works the way I want it to work, and I'm happy about that. Yeah. That's about all I had to say about it, really. I'm happy about it. I'm ready to get out of this. Well, I wouldn't say I'm ready to get out of quarantine. I'm ready for things to open back up, because I shit you not, guys. I shit you not. I've been having a blast working from home. I love working from home. I feel, I don't know, freer. Even though I'm working on the same stuff I would be working on at the office, I feel freer. I feel better working from home than at the office. Like the office, it just feels confined and just like even when you're there, you just kind of want to be home. Not necessarily because I have anything better to do, but just it feels better to be here. I don't know what it is. Like, obviously, I think I have my theories. Is the fact that I was in, for college, I was in my apartment, and my job was also at a university at the time, and I was able to do that at home as well. So a lot of like university, like schoolwork and work was also done in my apartment. So it just felt more natural to be in my apartment working. And then when I have to go to the office, it's just like, you gotta drive in. You're like, oh my God, the whole drive in. And you're like, I don't want to go. And you're there. It's like, oh, fuck. I messed up. I came to work. And then you're in your office. It's like, oh, God damn it. I don't want to be here right now. But now, working from home, I'm like, shit, this is a tight ass gig. I like it. I got my coffee machine, got my lunch here, got all my food I could ever need right here. And I can play music as loud as I want. I can just sit in my pajamas and work on videos. It's fantastic. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. I don't want it to go away. I really don't want it to go away. I really like it. I don't know. It might be possible to swing it. It might be able to convince my my boss to continue letting me do this, because I just feel better. I don't know what it is. It's some type of psychological thing here going on here, but I don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. Don't know what it is. I know a lot of people disagree with me for sure. A lot of people hate working from home because they don't know how to, they say they don't know how to turn it off from working. They don't know how to like stop working. It's like, how the fuck do you not know how to stop working? Just stop. There you go. There you go. Fixed it for you. Now, obviously, I don't know. My position is pretty small compared to other people's positions, but still, just stop. You'll be all right. Not doing anything is going to do you wonders, buddy. Trust me. Yeah. People get so, I feel like a lot of people get really into their work, really unhealthy into their work, and they nonstop work, and maybe they enjoy it. Like, I don't know, maybe, and like, that's the thing, like the way I do things, the way I like to do things is obviously not the way someone else is going to do things, but that someone else is most of the time in charge and telling me that what I'm doing is wrong and who the fuck am I type of deal. So we'll see if it works. I hope it does. I really like it. My computer is badass. I say it all the time to these to my boss. I'm like, hey, the computer you gave me, it's okay. No disrespect towards it, but mine's better by a long shot. I'll watch this rendering time on this computer, and then I'll go home and render out at the same video and drive back in and have it done before this one gets it done. That's how awesome my computer is compared to the office computer. Now, obviously, there's workarounds that I do to make sure, you know, I'm not just exporting one video and then sitting waiting for it to stop. I do my exporting when I leave the office, because that's the only way I can actually do it without having to stop the whole day. Because a lot of people don't know about proxies. Just work with the proxies, export the proxies. Then, when there's no more editing, then export the high res version, because that's the way to do it, sort of. Actually, the way to do it would be the opposite of that. Export the high res version as a draft, no matter what. So that takes up a lot of space, and that's dumb. Actually, change my mind. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. I cannot wait for things to open back up. Not because I want to go back to work. Office, I meant. But I miss going to the movies. I miss going to the gym. I miss doing stuff. Been cooped up in my apartment for far too long. As much as I like saying I like working from home, I definitely need to get out and do something on a weekend. Haven't had a chance to do that in a long time. So hopefully I can get back to, I don't know, talking about movies that are coming out, and, you know, are actually out. I don't care. Like, a lot of stuff has been moved back. There are some movies who have been streamed, like on Disney Plus. I think Frozen 2 came out early on Disney Plus. Star Wars came out early as well. A couple other movies, I believe, have been dropping. I believe, what was that, Trolls movie, World Tour? They skipped the theatrical release altogether. It just went right to streaming for like $20. And a lot of people were like, hey, that's super fucking expensive. It's like, hey, how much would you spend just going to the movies with your kids and wife, you fucknut? Just calm your tits. It's really not that expensive when you compare. Kids want popcorn. Kids want that, I don't know, that kid snack box or whatever, that $15 thing. So you know what? you can spend $20 to rent the movie for 48 hours or 24 hours or however long it is and watch it multiple times if you really want to and save a buttload of money. Like, believe it or not, you should be happy to spend that $20 versus the $50 movie night at the movie theater. So we'll see if more movies move to the streaming services for release. I think there was one other movie. I forget what it was. I think Hamilton just announced. Disney's Hamilton is going to come out for streaming. I don't care about musicals, so I probably will miss that one. I'm sure it'll be fine movie. But yeah, Black Widow got pushed back. I think Warner Brothers is it Warner Brothers? They're still banking on what's that? Tenet by Christopher Nolan to come out the theater release, but at this point, I'm not feeling it. Same thing with the gym. Not feeling it. Not because I don't want to go, but because I don't feel safe going. As weird and as bad as that sounds, I don't feel safe going to public places like that. Because people are stupid. People are dumb. A person is smart. People are dumb. It's just that I don't want to go down this road, but we're going down it now. People, the government, we are opening up way too quickly. Let's be honest here. It's way too quick. It's way too soon. The cases now in my state, the peak was at the end of April. Obviously the cases have fallen, but they've fallen back to where we started mass testing. We haven't flattened shit. I mean, sure, we're not the numbers we would have been, but at the same time, we're not at the numbers we ought to be at. We are opening up way too soon. We're going to see, I guarantee we're going to see a huge spike here in 2 weeks after this whole phase-in reopening shit. I'm not phasing in shit. Maybe, okay, and to be fair, maybe it won't be that bad. Maybe the smart persons out there will realize that, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. We're going to keep doing what we're doing and pray for the best. And that's what I'm kind of doing now. Even my place of business, my work, we are not going back straight away. We're doing a slow phase-in process as well. They're getting ideas of who can work from home. Obviously, I can work from home, so hooray. And then, they'll go from there. But it's just like, it's one of those things where I feel like we're ending it too short. Too short, too soon, and it's going to bite us in the ass in a bad way. Hopefully not me. I don't want anybody to get it either, but still, hopefully not me. Not because I don't think I don't deserve it over someone else, but I don't want that shit. I've seen it. I don't want it. I've seen the not X-rays, the other grays. I forget the name of it. Some type of graph that they scan. MRI. There we go. I've seen the MRI scans of people who've had it. Their lungs are ravaged, destroyed, and even if you survive, those are your lungs for the rest of your life. You think you're gonna have a good quality of life after that? You won't. And I think that's kind of the problem right now. Is even though there is like, we're so very connected on social media, there's a very strong disconnect with this virus. I don't see any photos of it here, at least. I don't see like the people. Maybe there isn't. That's the thing. But right now, the people who are surviving, they have a nice little story. They get cheered out of the hospital, and then they're gone. You don't really hear from a whole lot. I want to know, and there's no way to know right now, but obviously 5 years time, how are they doing? The people who had it really bad, how are they doing? I'm not talking about that 103-year-old woman that survived. Let's face it, RIP right now. Oh shit. So I want to figure out the people who had it really bad in their 40s or 50s and in 5 years time to see what their outcome was, how they're doing, how they're feeling. What is their health like now after having it so bad? Just to see if, If it really is just, just the flu, which is obviously not just the flu. But yeah, I would really be interested in that. I'd really be interested to see that, because I think people, they don't see the conclusion. So they make their own conclusion. They're like, I'll beat it. It's just the flu. It's just a bad cold. It's whatever. And they continue on doing what they're doing, even though they shouldn't, because it goes against, the rules right now. And I feel like if they showed more of like the end result, it'd be worse off. Or more people would be more willing to accept the fact that we should be closed longer and whatnot. And I don't want to hear about the fucking economy. God damn, people are talking about bring back the economy. It's like, that fragile, fickle fuck. Are you kidding me right now? That thing came apart with one Corona boy. That thing, that economy we're so very proud of, came apart in 1 week. No, why would you want that back? That is a terrible economy. That is not a strong economy. That is a brittle, fragile economy that can break so easily. And people want that back. And it's not going to come back. It won't come back for a while. It's not going to bounce back as this phase-in thing happens. It's just not going to happen. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and end this little podcast episode. Thank you all so much for listening in on it. I promised, I swear, I tell myself, don't talk about the corona. Don't talk about it. But it's hard not to talk about it. It's everywhere I look. It's on my Twitter feed. It's on my Facebook feed. It's on YouTube. It's everywhere. I can't get away from it. So I'm going to talk about it because it's on my mind. I need to talk about it. Don't have anyone else to talk about it, obviously. That's why I'm in my apartment in the dark talking to myself through a microphone. This is a podcast. What else did you expect? But anyways, thank you again, everyone, for listening. You can catch me live right now at twitch.tv/deadlynuttabutter. Check me out. We are playing the Division 2. The game is slapping for me right now. It's great. I love it. A lot of great people who play the game as well. A lot of great people who I've met and play with frequently, actually. So come check me out. Thank you all again for the third time for listening. And I will, I don't know. You'll hear me all on the next one. See ya.